talk about one of my all-time favorite book series, Diana Gabaldon's Outlander. Composed of about 7 4-inch thick, 1,000-page books, it'll provide some serious escape time. Or it'll be the cure to many insomniac nights. That all depends on whether or not you like to read historical literary fiction filled with intrepid Highland hounds, sassy lassies, and assassinach, or Outlander. In order to get the most enjoyment out of the next 5 to 7 minutes, you'll need to suspend your belief in the here and now. So what's it about? It starts off with 26-year-old World War II British battle nurse Claire Randall. She's in a field operating tent, removing bullets from a fatally wounded soldier. She's up to her elbows in blood. Bombs are exploding in the background. As with all war, the outcome of her and the soldier's fate is left in question. She steps outside for a breath of air, only to find a bottle of champagne thrust on her. Confused and exhausted, she takes a long swill, wipes her brow, and observes the chaos around her. It's a calamitous situation. Someone yells, "It's over! The war's over!" Little does capable Claire know what's to come next. If she thought life during wartime was surreal, she's in for an even stranger twist. One of the best things about Diana Gabaldon's writing is her capture of the nuances of truly human characteristics and emotion. The next scene shows Claire and her husband Frank Randall in a 1940s motor car on their way to a holiday in Scotland. This is an attempt to rekindle their previously robust and intimate bond. They were forced to separate for 5 years during the war. So why Scotland? On the surface, it's because he's a historian and wants to learn more about the ancestors in his family tree. It's also a relatively short trip in a beautiful romantic setting for a young couple to reconnect in. But from an author's point of view, it's a setup for the remainder of a mind-blowing story. The author does a great job of introducing us to the mystery and magic in the Highlands. Scene. Using their quaint little B&B with squeaky bed springs as a hub, they tap into the mystery and magic of the Highlands. They begin retracing their roots by visiting local churches, cathedrals, and graveyards. They also spend hours poring through birth and death registries. Along the way, they discover there's a long-standing coven of druids in this particular village in the Highlands. Not only that, but the owner of their B&B is a part of it. Of course, they can't resist secretly sneaking a peek at the upcoming Standing Stone ceremony. This is where all the excitement begins. Diana Gabaldon is also a master at portraying shifting realities. So without going into too much detail, let me just say, Claire goes back to the Circle of Stones the next day to look for a specific type of medicinal flower that grows there. That's become her hobby and escape to the war. Her reality shifts when she somehow gets sucked into the energetic vortex that was opened during the Druid ceremony the night before. The next thing you know, she's in a battlefield again. This time it's full of British redcoats chasing down rebel Scottish Highlanders. I have the feeling that if you were to ask the Highlanders, they would take pride in the title rebel because they would consider themselves intrepid warriors. At first she thinks it's a historical reenactment, but quickly discovers the bullets are real, the men on both sides are dangerous, and her modest, modern-day dress is considered a woman's shift or underwear in that time period. I chose this topic today because I, like millions of other fanatical fans around the globe, have been waiting for over a decade for this wildly popular book series to come out on television or the big screen. 2 weeks ago, Starz debuted the first of their new miniseries, Outlander. The best news is, so far, the miniseries is incredibly true to the books. I suspect that's because author Diana Gabaldon has been a consultant to the miniseries. While many Americans romanticize foreign accents and cultures, the only drawback to some viewers might be if they don't like to see what it was like to live in different time periods, and some might find it hard to understand the thick Scottish brogue and the British accents. I, on the other hand, absolutely love it, considering before I ever read the series, truth be told, I lived in England, near a small circle of standing stones. And before I ever read the book series, before I ever even knew they existed, I took a holiday to the Scottish Highlands. Thank you. This is author Jay McAfee. If you love time travel, don't miss the Noah Chronicles novellas.